What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing fantastic out there. So today we're going to take a look at a budget offering from Nedfoss. This is one that there's been some talk about in the community. This is the Nedfoss Cougar. It's one that is surprising a lot of people, myself included. I did, of course, I did unbox this previously on a mail call video. With Nedfoss, you do get this kind of a semi-hard case here. You always get a tool and then a little pouch. Of course, typical paperwork, all that mess. But I'm going to jump right into the knife itself. So I do believe it is a... Yep, so we have a steel button lock, 14C 28N. Let's just go ahead and get this knife open here. So what's really exciting about this knife is, again, it's cheap. It's it's a $50 knife. You're looking at, or excuse me, it's a $60 knife currently. So it is currently $60. I think it does go on sale quite frequently on Amazon. I think I paid less than $60 for it. So we're just going to call it a $50 knife, even though I have a 60 here on the page. 14C 28N. No real branding on the knife. You got the little Nedfoss logo there. You're looking at a 3-inch blade and a 7.8 overall. 4.2 ounces, which again, being a steel knife, it is not too shabby. So actual blade length, we're looking at just over 3 1/4, but it is a 3-inch cutting edge. Sitting there looking at that, I was like, there's no way that's only a 3-inch blade. So what's really impressed me so far with this blade, now it does have some button stick. You guys are going to hear that. So it does have button stick, but it sounds worse than it is, if that makes any sense, because I guess it's echoing off of the steel, but it's got a pretty good plunge lock done on it. So it's got like, you can see that there. I mean, it's got a pretty good blade retention, detent, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you come in up here, it is way more difficult. I find it's flicking off of the fuller is much more reliable and much more pleasing. Doesn't murder your finger near as bad. Now, what I would like to do, or what I would like to change on this knife, is this part right here. I don't think that's necessary. You would probably grind this flatter, because if you could get in right here and flick off right there much more easily, that's a more natural position to do that reverse flick. You can slow roll off of this thing. When you slow roll it, you don't get that button stick, but that's just when you really sling that thing home. It gives you a little bit of stick. It's probably just some oil and junk in there. But a really, really decent little budget knife. We'll jump into some up close and personal stuff here. So taking a look there, you do have a satin button, and there's your Nedfoss logo there on the pivot. Again, just kind of a blasted matte steel frame, T6 hardware. You do have a pretty nice clip. Clip does work fairly well, pretty bold, or pretty broad clip there. T8 screws there. Again, there you can see your plunge lock. Done pretty well. Take a look at your blade here. So we have a satin 14C blade. And then there is a stone wash on the flats. So you can see that there. So you do have the satin grind with the stone wash. You got a pretty decent finger choil. It's not the best. It's not the worst. 14C branding there. And that's all the branding you have on the knife. Edge looks to be good. Take a look at our screws. So being a kind of an unknown brand. Screws are pretty okay. Let's see, is that? Wait a minute now. Okay, so this pocket clip screw is really bad. So this is where you talk about quality control and things like that. So that is really, really bad. Like, almost thought it was the wrong size. And then you go into this one, no wiggle at all. So all the wiggle in the world, no wiggle at all. So that is quality control 101. You really got to watch stuff like that. Like I said, let's check that T8. I don't think I did already. Yeah, T8 looks good. So all the other screws are good. You got one really, really bad screw. Like I said, it made me think that it might have been a T7. In fact, I've got a T7 right here. It is. It's a freaking T7. So one screw here is a T7. And all the other screws are T6s. Wow, you can even see that. Hold on, let's look in here. So you can actually see the difference there. Let's try to get to where you guys can see it. Yeah, like looking at them side by side, it is pretty obvious that that is not the same size screw. So maybe it's meant to be that way. I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but anyway. Outside of that, the knife seems to be pretty well done. Feels fine in the hand. I mean, it's no lefty love. You do get a lanyard hole. Like I said, the choke up grip there is okay. Oh, excuse me. You do get up on that cutting edge pretty easily there. So I don't know. I wouldn't really use it fully. I would just kind of pull it back almost like a trigger pull grip. But the regular grip is fine. You got a full grip on it. Other than that, it's not a bad knife at all. Like I said, the quote unquote detent on the plunge lock, the blade retention is done well. The blade, the button stick, I'd hoped would start working itself out. I have played with this knife a little bit, but it is pretty bad still. And I've heard other people say that they haven't had a problem out of there, so it could just be my example. Like I said, it's probably just some gunk in there causing that. But outside of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the blade itself, see how sharp it is, see if it's... So yeah, no issues there. So it's nice and sharp. Push cuts through paper, no problem. That's some pretty thin paper. So push cutting that, as you guys know, is a pretty good indicator of a sharp blade. Not a bad looking knife. It's nothing that really breaks the mold. Like I said, I think personally I would like to see it with those ramps or that finger twirl there just cut down a little bit and give you better access to that blade hole. Other than that, I think it's like I said, I think it's a pretty handsome knife. Not not really copying anything else. And I do offer 3 blade shapes on this thing. They all kind of look the same. They have a clip point, which looks kind of more Bowie-esque, and it's literally this exact same blade. They just literally, it has a clip point spot here. So it's more of a upsweep here on the tip. And then I think they have a drop point one, which again has the same exact belly and everything. It just brings the tip out further before it drops it down. So very much a cookie cutter-esque kind of blade. No real changes to the actual cutting edge. They just make changes on the backside of the blade. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all as always. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And just remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.